Storytime with Ashley. Hi! Hey guys, and welcome to Storytime with Ashley. We're reading stories from my favorite book, the Bible. Today's story is found in the book of Genesis, chapter 37, and it's so cool. It's about a man named Joseph. Now, Joseph was actually the son to a man named Jacob. And Jacob was pretty old at this point, and he loved Joseph out of all of his sons the most. And the reason why was because he had him when he was super old. But anyways, he didn't hide away his love for his son. So he actually showed it a lot. And so he made Joseph a beautiful multicolored coat. And he was like, "Oh, Dad, I love my coat. It looks amazing on me. Look at me. I look fantastic." And so he knew that he was the favorite. But so did all the other brothers. And they were like, "Oh, that Joseph guy, I really don't like him. He gets on my last nerves." And they were like, "Yeah, me too. He's so bleh." And so the brothers really started to not like Joseph that much. But they tolerated him. However, one day, Joseph, he went to sleep and he woke up and he was like, guys, you won't believe what happened. I had the craziest dream. And they were like, "No one cares. Don't tell us." He's like, "Great, I'll tell you. Here's what happened. Basically, you guys were all had all these bales of hay and they all bowed down to my bale of hay." And they're like, "Are you saying that we're going to bow down to you? That's nonsense." He's like, "Right, but it was so cool. Who knows? It might happen." They're like, "No, that's never going to happen." And then he goes to sleep that night and he wakes up again. He's like, guys, I had the craziest dream." And they're like, "No one wants to hear it." He's like, "I don't care. I'm going to tell you anyways. I was basically the sun and you guys were all like stars and moon and everything and y'all bowed down to me." And they were like, "What? We're not going to bow down to you." And his dad was like, "Are you saying that we're going to bow down to you, son, your mother and I?" He was like, "I don't know. That's what my dream said." He's like, "No, that's nonsense. Stop that." And so the brothers start to get really annoyed because he's kind of getting a bit of a big head is what it seems like. And they're like, "We have got to do something about this Joseph guy. He is on my last nerves." And they're like, "Right, he's so frustrating. Oh my goodness, what should we do?" And then one of them was like, "Let's throw him into a ditch." And they were like, that's not a bad idea. And so they trick Joseph into going out into the field and they take his coat and they throw him into a ditch. And they convince their dad that he was killed by a wild animal. Isn't that crazy? But really what happened was some people came by and they bought Joseph and they took him as a slave to a man in Egypt named Potiphar. You see, even during a crazy experience like this, God was still protecting Joseph because he had a plan for Joseph's life. And though he couldn't really see it right then because he was stripped of his jacket and then sold as a slave, he didn't really see what was to come, but God had a special plan. There was a reason that he had to have him go to Egypt. And so it was an unfortunate way for him to get there, but God watched over him. He protected him. He didn't let his brothers hurt him anymore. And he helped out in Egypt. And you want to know what? We're going to continue this story next time. So tune in next time to hear what happens on Storytime with Ashley. See ya.